In this video, we're going to look at how to read box plots. And this is a really quick video, but it's important to get it right because box plots are an easy way to look at large amounts of data. So anyway, this is what a box plot is. A box plot really is just 5 numbers. And they're going to look something like this. And what it is you've got this box here with 2 ends and a somewhere in between another line. Well, this line right here is going to be the median of the data set. Or another way to think about it, it's the 50th percentile. And this number right here is going to be the 25th percentile. Remember, what is a percentile? A 25th percentile means that 25% of the observations or individuals are below that number and 75% are above. And this other number here, right here, is going to be the 75th percentile. Now, what's interesting to a box plot is even though there's a length and a width, or height, the height here doesn't mean anything at all. It's just simply to give some visual representation of kind of the center of the distribution. So oftentimes this part right here is thought of as the center or area or the center region of the distribution. And then how do you read what these numbers are? Well, there's going to be some kind of scale. Now, sometimes especially when the computers do it, a lot of times they'll have a box plot without an explicit scale on it. And in order to really interpret it, you'll need a scale. If you're doing one yourself, you might actually just draw a scale on the bottom. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to simply draw this line down, and that's going to be the 25th percentile. Now I think in this scale, this is 100 and this is 200. So this is going to be around 100, say, it looks like about around 130 to me. To the median, you simply draw a dotted line down here, and this is going to be the median, a little bit greater than 200. And the 75th percentile you'll draw down here. Hard to see exactly what that number is without some more scale. Now, what are these here? These are the tails of the distribution, and this value right here is going to be the minimum in the whole data set, and this value here is going to be the maximum. So what it does is it gives you the entire range of the distribution, and it also gives you the 25th and 75th and the 50th percentiles in quick succession. And that's how you read a box plot. Now, there are 2 different types of box plots. Sometimes, for example, you might have a distribution that looks like this, where the tails are extremely large. And that might be because there are some what are called outliers here. So here's another way to draw this. What do we do here? You can think about this as version A and version B. In version A, this is going to be the minimum. In version B, the key to version B is it excludes outliers. Now, what's an outlier? An outlier is simply a number which is very far away from the distribution. Now, a given computer program is going to have a specific definition of outlier, and we'll talk about that in a second. But what they do is they essentially exclude the outliers and draw the box plot. But they also want to give you information that there were outliers. So what they'll do is they'll take any outliers and they'll simply put a little dot, or in this case a little X, where the outliers are. So there isn't a correct way to do a box plot. These are simply 2 different versions, and on graphing calculators you'll have both different versions. Now, if there are no outliers, then the 2 versions of the box plot are identical. So the question is, what's their definition of outlier? The definition of outlier that they use is what's called the 1.5 IQR rule. And if you've already covered that, you know what that means. And if not, there's another short video that will go over what that is. Anyway, that's how you read a box plot. Let's go over it one more time. This is the idea of a box plot. It looks something like this. When you look at that, you simply see 5 numbers. The central box here, or rectangle, is going to give you what's called the center of the distribution, where this is the 25th percentile and the 75th percentile and the 50th percentile. And then you have these tails. Sometimes they're called whiskers. These tails here will give you the min value and the max value. And that's how you read box plots.